Welcome to this explainer. If you're managing data across complex cloud environments, you already know the drill. Securing your data without completely bottlenecking your teams is a constant, everyday headache. Well, today we are going to unpack the major security upgrades introduced in Syntasa version 9.1. We're looking at how Syntasa is basically bringing a new multi-layered castle defense system straight to your organization's data. We're going to break down exactly how this new architecture operates to protect your databases, your tables, and your S3 files across every single workload.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our agenda. We'll start with the v9.1 security upgrade, move into level 1 Syntasa authorization, then hit level 2 cloud access control, see how they combine in the tandem defense model, and wrap up with data planes and sharing.
Starting right off with section 1, the v9.1 security upgrade. So the magic number here is 2. We're looking at 2 massive security enhancements that now serve as the absolute foundation of Syntasa's data plane access. What you really need to take away from this is the sheer scope of the protection. Whether your users are accessing data via Spark, running custom code, or just querying through interactive notebooks, these 2 distinct layers are standing guard over your databases, tables, and S3 files. It is a completely comprehensive shield.
Moving right along to section 2, level 1 Syntasa authorization.
Before we get into the weeds of this first gate, we really need to clearly define our core unit, and that's the data plane. A data plane is simply the user-facing name for a collection of data belonging to a specific business domain. Now, why does this matter so much? Because in version 9.1, access is scoped entirely to these logical units. Every single table, every S3 path, and every streaming source you use absolutely must belong to one of these collections. It's literally the primary mechanism for organizing your data. The crucial point here is that level 1 access is absolute. It's strictly binary. You either have full read and write access to that data plane, or you are completely locked out. There is zero middle ground. Think of it like a highly exclusive club. You're either on the VIP list, or you're not getting past the bouncer. This primary layer is powered by a Spark SQL extension that enforces these rules across all your Spark workloads. Access is evaluated right at the user level by aggregating permissions across all the groups that a user belongs to. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if you're an admin or a standard user, this binary rule applies to everyone alike, governing your interactive notebooks, batch jobs, and scheduled pipelines across every single cloud provider. And this really hits the nail on the head regarding the strictness we're dealing with at level 1. You aren't just handed the keys to an entire shared bucket and trusted to behave yourself. The Spark engine physically enforces folder-level precision based only on the specific paths defined in the event stores you're actually authorized to see. All right, let's shift gears to section 3, level 2, cloud access control. So, how does this build out our defense strategy? We basically have 2 cloud-level approaches. Option A is entirely new in 9.1, and it allows users to attach their own AWS credentials directly to a workspace or runtime. When you do this, Syntasa just uses those credentials for all cloud interactions. Then we have option B, which is the fallback, and it's incredibly smart. If no user credentials are provided, Syntasa doesn't just panic. It automatically utilizes its own system service account, but dynamically scopes it down on the fly to match exactly what the user is authorized to access. Now, bringing your own credentials via option A is the heavily recommended method for your production environments. Why is that? Because access is determined entirely by the permissions defined in the credentials that you provide. It gives your organization precise, self-managed AWS control. In fact, relying on user-provided credentials will eventually become the primary method once it's fully available across all features. Option B is fantastic as a safe automatic safety net for workspaces that aren't yet configured, but option A puts the ultimate control securely in your hands. Next up is section 4, the tandem defense model. Let's walk through the actual sequential journey of a request, so you can see how these 2 layers operate in tandem. First, you hit step 1, the Syntasa auth gate. This evaluates and enforces data plan policies for all Spark workloads before a cloud resource is even touched. Past that, and you immediately face step 2, the cloud identity gate. This acts as an independent second barrier, ensuring that even outside of Spark workloads, you can only access the cloud resources your credentials explicitly permit. So the overarching takeaway here for system administrators is pretty straightforward. Whether you attach your own credentials for precise AWS control, or you just rely on Syntasa's dynamically scoped down service account as a fallback, access is rigorously controlled by both gates. Nothing is slipping through the cracks here. It's a true fail-safe design. And finally, section 5, data planes and sharing.
Okay, bringing it back to the everyday users, what are the actual sharing mechanics here? Accessing an event store grants access to all resources within it, but how do you share that effectively? Well, data planes are shared with groups, so all members automatically inherit the group's access level. And while level 1 access is binary at this sharing level, workspace administrators can actually configure read and write permissions separately. This ensures you have fine-grained control over what different teams can actually do with the data. Ultimately, a user's effective permissions are simply the set of data planes directly assigned to them by their workspace admin. Which leaves us with a final thought. We've seen how version 9.1 introduces a tandem defense, enforcing absolute precision at both the Spark engine level and the AWS Cloud Identity level. With these powerful new dual-layered defenses actively protecting your environment, is your organization ready to master its data planes? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this breakdown helps you secure your data a whole lot more effectively. See you next time.